BTB listeners, thank you so much for checking out today's episode. Listen, if this episode inspires you, do me a favor, take 5 seconds to shoot me a like and subscribe to the podcast. There are several more exciting guests that are in the pipeline, and I just can't thank you enough for your continued support, and let's keep paying the mission forward.
Because whenever we're trying to do something great, there's always something that wants to fill the void of you getting there. Growth is uncomfortable. Storms are part of the journey. Are you willing to embrace the suck? Are you willing to embrace the messy middle?
What are you built to be? What are you built to become? The time is now. The time is right now. You weren't built to break. You were built to be something greater. Welcome to Season 2 of the BTB Project. I'm your host, Coleman Gearhart. I was an overweight kid, one counted out, lost 100 pounds, found purpose in the pain, and turned my setbacks into a story worth telling. This podcast isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about identity, discipline, and comebacks. Getting up one more time and becoming who we're always meant to be. If you're ready to go deep, do the work, and live out what you're built to be, you're in the right place. Let's lock in, let's rise, and let's get to work.
Welcome back to today's episode of the BTB Project. I'm your host, Coleman Gearhart. And in today's BTB Short, we're going to dive deep on a topic that's not discussed all too often, but it's something we experience all the time. Have you ever noticed everyone talks about the beginning of doing something extraordinary? Or everyone is celebrating the ending of doing something extraordinary? No one really ever talks about what's happening in the middle. The messy middle, the part where things are getting done, where sleeves are being rolled up, where adversity is being met, and where you're truly becoming the strongest version of yourself. This is the part where it's hard, the part where you're unsure, you're not totally convinced that what you started is going to be the outcome you want, and you sure as heck know that the outcome is a lot farther away than you really want it to be. This is the part where you're doing everything right, but you're not seeing the results just yet. That's what I want to talk about today. The messy middle. Because if I'm being honest, most of life is lived in the middle. You're not where you used to be, but you're not where you want to be yet. You're growing. But most of us, when we're in the messy middle, are still struggling. You're moving forward, but it doesn't seem always like you're making progress. That's the messy middle. And the middle is where you become, where you're truly built to be. So why is the messy middle so dang hard? The beginning is exciting. I love doing the whiteboarding sessions with clients to put down our goals. You're starting something new. You're motivated. You're encouraged. You're energized. Maybe it's a new job you're about to get into that you've been excited for. You got through that long interview process and day one is starting tomorrow. Maybe it's a new relationship. You've met someone that you're just really excited about and pumped to get to know them. Maybe it's a new fitness goal. Maybe it's a new athletics goal. a new version of yourself. My daughters call it the glow up period. Are you about to have that glow up in your life? You have momentum from the excitement that's created. There's belief, there's excitement. But then reality hits. Things get hard, progress slows down, doubts are going to creep in. And suddenly, you're in the middle. You're putting in the work, but you're not seeing the results yet. You're showing up, but you're tired. You're believing, but you're also questioning every single thing you're doing. That's the messy middle. One of the things that I am experiencing recently is this big shift in my health and recalibrating health, well-being, fitness, and being in the messy middle. And maybe you yourself have decided to get into better shape or change your diet. You started working out, you started eating better, you've committed to becoming healthier. Week 1, you're excited. Week 2, you're motivated. Week 3, you're a little sore. Week 4, you're freaking exhausted. And then you look in the mirror and you don't see much change. You step on the scale and maybe the number hasn't moved yet. That's the messy middle. You're doing the work, but you don't see the results yet. And that's where most people quit. That's where most people hang up the gloves, wring out the rag, call it a day. But that's also, if you really sit down and think about it, that's where your true transformation is happening. Even when you can't see it yet. Maybe you're working towards something bigger. Maybe it's a promotion at your job, your career, you're an entrepreneurial spirit, and you want to start your own podcast, start your own business. You're working harder, you're showing up early, you're staying late. You try to grow, you try to improve, but you don't feel like you're getting recognized. You don't feel like you're moving forward. And you start asking yourself, man, is this really worth it? Am I doing the right thing? Or should I just settle? It's the messy middle. And it's uncomfortable. Because growth is happening internally before it ever shows up externally. What about the messy middle in relationships? At the beginning of a relationship, everything feels easy. They call it that euphoric moment, the honeymoon phase of a relationship. Being someone that's been married for 17 years, I fully understand what that can feel like. You feel like you're communicating well, you're connecting easily, you're excited about the future. But then life happens. The stress of the day in and day out, work schedules, children, responsibilities. And suddenly you're having difficult conversations. You're learning patience. You're learning how to grow together. That's the messy middle. And here's something powerful. Strong relationships aren't built in the easy moments. It's not built in the honeymoon phase. They're built in the messy middle. Are you seeing a theme here? What about the messy middle of trying to grow yourself, trying to become the strongest version of who you are built to be? You've decided you've wanted to become better. That's admirable. That's fantastic. You start reading more. You start journaling. You start changing your habits. But then you still struggle. You still doubt yourself. You still fall back on the old patterns that sometimes makes you find yourself in the messy middle. Growth in your life is never clean. It's not perfect. As a matter of fact, growth in your life is messy. And there's a powerful lesson that comes from the Bible. Heard this on Sunday at church, and it's in Mark chapter 4. And Jesus tells the disciples, let's go to the other side. That was the promise. But then this huge storm came right in the middle. Not in the beginning, not in the end, but right in the middle. And the disciples started to panic. They said, don't you care that we're going to drown? And here's what's powerful. They forgot they were going to the other side because the messy middle made them doubt. Those storms in our lives are very real. It makes us question. It makes us doubt. It makes us wonder if we're doing the right thing. The storm didn't change the promise of the destination, getting to the other side. They were still going to get to the other side. No matter how bad that storm was, no matter how messy that middle is. Middle is where you're built. Your discipline is built there. Your resilience is built there. Your character is intricately wound in the middle. It's where you learn to show up. It's even when you don't feel like being there, it's where you keep going. Even when it's hard. It's where you grow, even when it's uncomfortable. I heard a quote the other day that if you're living life feeling really good and comfortable at the moment, you might be doing something wrong. And it got me thinking, how can we have a good amount of adequate discomfort in our lives? So let's talk about 5 ways to navigate the messy middle. What are some practical steps to help folks like you and me? Number 1 is remember why you started doing what you're doing. I say often that a strong why can overcome any how. When things get hard, go back to that why. Go back to that foundation. Your purpose will carry you when your motivation fades. Think about those disciples. The storm was scary, but the promise was made. Jesus said they would get to the other side. Focusing on your why will help you get there as well. Number 2 is focus on small progress. You don't need massive breakthroughs every single day. Just 1% better every day. Are you getting one foot in front of the other? Are you refusing to quit? Are you finding a way to make traction no matter what in your life? 1% better. That's the BTB way. Number 3 is stay consistent. Show up when you're motivated. Show up when you're tired. Show up anyway, no matter what life is facing. Sometimes 90% of our battle is just to show up, to not hit snooze on the alarm clock, to not call in sick for work, to still go to school even though you got that big test. Consistency builds strength. Number 4 is expect resistance. Expect the messy middle to push back against you, because whenever we're trying to do something great, there's always something that wants to fill the void of you getting there. Growth is uncomfortable. Storms are part of the journey. Are you willing to embrace the suck? Are you willing to embrace the messy middle? Lastly, number 5 is trust the process. The process is the most exciting part. After you start, after you end, you get to carry with you the journey. And if you're facing a storm right now, and everything's swirling and everything's chaotic and you don't know what to do, just remember something. You're not stuck. You're right where you need to be, becoming the strongest version of yourself. So listen, if you're in the messy middle right now, you're not alone. You're growing. You're learning. You're becoming who you're supposed to become. Trust me when I say that. The middle is uncomfortable, but it's also where transformation happens, because the strongest version of yourself is always built in the middle. The brick and mortar of your confidence, the brick and mortar of who you are, the brick and mortar of who you want to represent, of who you want to reflect to impact others. That brick and mortar is built on the sand of the messy middle. Remember, you're built to be resilient. You're built to be strong. You're built to overcome. And most importantly, you're built to become the best version of yourself in the messy middle. Impossible is nothing. Listen, if this BTB short on the messy middle, if it impacted you, do me a favor, like and subscribe to the BTB Project. It's your likes, it's your suggestions, it's your feedback on the podcast that keeps me energized, that keeps me, Lord willing, able to produce content, bring on fantastic guests to impact your lives. I'm here for you. I'm here in the messy middle with you. You can do this. You got this. Share the episode with someone who's in it as well. As always, I'm proud of each and every one of you. And until next time, take care.